Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have ourselves here some pretty big One Piece WA news that dropped a few hours ago, because Jump Festa was a few hours ago. And Eiichiro Oda spoke during Jump Festa during the One Piece Super Stage, and he dropped some pretty big stuff when it comes to 2018 One Piece WA. So let's just jump right into it with the Twitter post from Sandman All Along Park, and then recently an article came out on Anime News Network as well pertaining to this subject, because we're going to talk about this subject because I was in a live stream on Brago Diaz's channel when this news dropped, and we were talking to Yoko Productions because he's the one that dropped the news, and it was like, whoa, so we were getting it like firsthand. We were hearing what Oda had said during Jump Festa. So let's get right into it. So as you guys can see here, this is what Yoko Productions had posted on his Twitter 6 hours ago when it pertained to what Oda said during Jump Festa. This was translated by Sandman of All Along Park on Twitter, and the translation of this says, and I quote, "Hi, I'm Oda. Are you enjoying Jump Festa? I'm watching One Piece Super Stage with you. It's fun, indeed. Actually, I visit Jump Festa every year to have a dinner with Straw Hats VAs after Jump Festa. By the way, One Piece will finally enter Wano next year." So right here, Oda is confirming once again that Wano is going to be happening in this year. So last year was 2017, no Wano. So right here, some of you well-informed audience might think, you said the same thing last year, right? Yes, I did say that because I thought One Piece would be able to enter Wano in 2017. This time, I'd like to add new information. Woo! New information. So, this year, he is confirming. Like, this time, he's sure. Like, last year, I was kind of sure, but this year, I'm definitely sure that we're going to be getting into Wano. And honestly, I'm guessing here that Wano Kuni is going to probably start around like late 2018. If we actually do get to Wano 2018. I'll introduce one of the legends which lurks in One Piece world. Yeah! I'll introduce one of the legends which works in One Piece world. The greatest enemy ever for Straw Hats will hinder their way. So that is a little bit rough there. The greatest enemy ever for Straw Hats will hinder their way. Perhaps it will be something related to Whitebeard. Oops. Whoopsie. It seems I'm being too talkative. Can you believe Marineford Summit War will look cute compared to that? What? The last time Oda said that was when he talked about the end of One Piece, the end of the series. He said Marineford War would look like nothing compared to the end of the series of One Piece. But here he's saying this about something that's coming like around the corner. I'll introduce one of the legends which lurks in One Piece world. The greatest enemy ever for Straw Hats will hinder their way. Perhaps it will be something related to Whitebeard. Oops, it seems I'm being too talkative. Can you believe Marineford Summit War will look cute compared to that? Anyway, there are tons of stuff I want to draw next year as well. I'll keep moving forward with my full force. I'm sure you're gonna love it. Oda, I hope so. I really do. Because you are hyping this up to high heaven with it. Really cute compared to Marineford War. And we'll talk about that in greater detail real soon. But I also want to get to an article that was released on Anime News Network, which also talks about this as well. Eiichiro Oda teased development for One Piece manga in 2018. One Piece manga creator Eiichiro Oda teased future developments for manga via a handwritten message during a stage presentation at the Jump Festa 2018 event on Sunday. In a message, Oda said that the manga will enter the Wano Country arc next year. He added that he said the same thing last year, but explained that at the time he thought he would be able to enter the arc this year. Oda states in the message that he plans to introduce a lurking legend in the One Piece world next year. He also added that it will be Luffy and his crew's greatest enemy. So that's very important right there, because from the context what we got from the Sandman translation, we weren't too sure if they were independent of each other when it came to introducing the greatest enemy, and then on top of that, that enemy being a hindrance for Luffy and company. Later on in the night, Yonko Productions did confirm with us in the stream that Sandman, when he translated it, the intention was that they were one and the same. But this greatest enemy is someone that Luffy and company will be facing. And that is pivotal right there. So this greatest enemy, the greatest enemy ever for the Straw Hats will hinder their way. That is 100%. And this greatest enemy ever is the legend which lurks in One Piece world. Lurking legend in the One Piece world next year. He also added that it'll be Luffy and his crew's greatest enemy. Oda teased that his enemy might be related to Whitebeard. Oda teased that the Paramount War storyline in the series will look cute compared to that. Then we continue. Oda said that in an interview in the Super Kabuki 2 One Piece Idai Naru Sekai photo collection, an information book that shipped last month, that he thought he would be getting to Wano Country within 1-2 years, but he will also probably draw a story related to Ace in that arc. So let's also remember that too. There's going to be an Ace thing, probably tying to him making the Straw Hat for Oars Jr. That probably will tie to the person who taught Ace to make the Straw Hats in the first place. That person may play some pivotal role in Wano Country. And to wrap this up, Oda said in an interview in July 2016 that he had finished around 65% of the manga. That I don't really believe that much because, again, Oda said that Wano Kuni was supposed to be like this year, and the year Sanji was last year. But no. Year Sanji still going very, 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 very strong. And it looks like we're going to continue on with the year Sanji until, let's say, around April or May 2018. And then we have the Reverie stuff. And also keep in mind here that after every arc, there's like a post arc where we get the reaction of the world to these major events. After all the Big Mom stuff goes down, there's going to be the reaction of the world. Especially when you have Big News Morgan's there. He's going to be letting the world know, yo,
extra, read all about it.
Massive stuff went down in Whole Cake Island and in Big Mom's territory of Thailand. And we're gonna have the world reaction of that, probably some bounty raises, Capone, Sanji, and Luffy mainly, I don't doubt it. And then we're gonna have the Reverie stuff, and then there's gonna be a post-Reverie stuff. So in all honesty, when you tally in that, as well as Eiichiro Oda taking his normal breaks throughout the course of the year, and then holidays, Wano Kuni, he says 2018, but again, let's say for the tail end of 2018. Now let's get on to a discussion about what this means, because there are some very intriguing thoughts as to who this person may be, this lurking legend. Now, first of all, within the context of what is stated by Eiichiro Oda himself, it looks like this lurking legend is someone that has not been introduced into the story just yet. That's the way it appears to be. However, this person screams Kaido. This person screams Kaido, because we know that Kaido has ties to Whitebeard. So when it comes to the person who is this lurking legend, it screams Kaido. It really does, given the context of the story, because Wano Kuni is getting around the bank. However, once again, the context of what Oda is saying is that this is a new person. This is a hidden, lurking legend. Some dude that has massive history, or some dude that is very famous that we have not seen the story just yet. I can see why a lot of folks would think Kaido, but in reality, the context is alluding to someone entirely new in the story. A lurking legend, like around the bank, who is going to be a hindrance for Luffy and company. One would assume easily that this is Wano Kuni related, because again, Wano Kuni is supposed to be coming out next year. Starting, I should say, next year. However, it could be potentially pre-Wano Kuni, like on the way to Wano Kuni, or maybe during the Reverie. Let's say Luffy somehow winds up at Mary Jo's pub, the Holy Land, where the Reverie is being held. He somehow winds up there, and then this lurking legend is there. Maybe the lurking legend is a Marine of sorts, or a world government individual of sorts. But when the news did break, and I was talking to Brago Diesa Company during his stream that just finished airing a few hours ago, a lot of folks did bring up Shiki. Because Shiki is a canon character, and when it comes to the greatest enemy, he was an enemy of Goldie Roger back in the day. Not only was he an enemy of Goldie Roger back in the day, but also he was an enemy of the Marines as well, clearly. So Shiki being a legend of sorts is true, and he has been shown in the actual canon manga. So if Shiki were to play a role in some way, shape, or form, maybe he once again escaped Impel Down or something, because in the movie, I think that he does get captured by the Marines again. But let's say he's out and about doing stuff. Well, Shiki, Shiki may be that dude, maybe. But for me personally, I don't think it's Shiki. However, related to Shiki and to Whitebeard and to Goldie Roger, if the Yonko system existed way back when, during Goldie Roger and Whitebeard's prime days, then there could be a fourth Yonko that we're not aware of. Now, I do know that Big Mom must have been in power back then, but maybe not in Yonko power, but she was a very fierce pirate back in the day, even during Roger's heyday. I'm not too sure if Big Mom was a Yonko back then, but if you were to think of the major pirates back during that era, there are 3 pirates that come to mind. It is Goldie Roger, it is Whitebeard, and it is the Golden Lion Shiki. So if there was a 4th person that made the Yonko, that made the quartet, then who was this 4th person? Maybe this lurking legend is that 4th previous Yonko that was on the same tier as like Whitebeard and Goldie Roger back then. But of course, if this person is an old individual now, then we know how One Piece works. When you pass the age of like 68 or something, like your power just plummets. Your power takes a massive nosedive, which is unfortunate. So if it is the kind of person, that'd be really cool because it would also give us insight on how certain power systems worked back in the day during Goldie Roger's heyday. But what are the odds of it actually being a person like that? I think slim. I think honest to God slim. So I can again understand why folks would think that way, but I would say no in all honesty. Next on the list would be maybe someone that ties to the world government or to the Marines. Maybe after, let's say, some discussion during the reverie, you have Akainu talking to some of the kings and whatnot, and then a discussion about Monkey D. Luffy comes up, and let's say he's gonna get some big name old school Marine guy to try and hunt down Monkey D. Luffy, because word just went out across the world that Monkey D. Luffy had just devastated the Big Mom pirates, which would be massive, massive news, and even Akainu would be like, no, Luffy has to go now, ASAP. So he'll get some old school Marine dude that either we haven't seen before or is someone we have seen before, but very briefly, and Akainu is going to be headhunting. Because keep in mind this, according to the translation that we get from Sandman, as well as what we get in the article, it's not necessarily sure if the enemy is going to be right then and there, going to be facing off against Monkey D. Luffy, or if they're going to be in the vicinity. They could be an adversary that's introduced next year, and then later on in the story, they're going to be facing off against Luffy. So it could be someone like a Marine, or like a world government individual, that has Luffy in their sights because of Akinu's orders, or because of, let's say, the Tenryubitos orders, or the Gorose orders. Because now they are truly worried about the rise of Monkey D. Luffy. And if there is someone that would fit that bill, that would be Kong.
Yeah, boy.
Yo, I would love to see Kong in combat. I am pretty sure there are many One Piece fans out there that agree with me. Kong in combat, I think, would be awesome. I think he'd be beast. Like, this guy, I think he has massive power, but he hasn't done anything. He hasn't done a single thing. So if this lurking legend was Admiral Kong, yes, Kong, he was the fleet admiral during the Battle of Ed War, the battle between Shiki and Roger. He was a fleet admiral during that time period, and I believe now he is the commander-in-chief of the world government. So actually, no. So Akainu wouldn't order Admiral Kong to do anything, because I think Kong is still ahead of Akainu in rank. Yeah, I believe so. Because, again, commander-in-chief or of-chief of the world government. Something like that. I think Kong has a higher status than Akainu. I could be wrong about that. You guys will correct me in the comment section. I don't doubt that. But what if Kong overheard something about Monkey D. Luffy, and then he heard about what he did to Big Mom? Yeah, I think Kong would have his eyes open and say, you know what? Okay, this kid, he's a problem. It's go time. Kong! Ooh! So, I want it to be Kong. Will it be Kong? I want it to be Kong, because that's kind of cool. But I don't think it's to be Kong. However, another person that could potentially stand in the way of Luffy and company would be Admiral Green Bull. Now, we have not seen Green Bull yet in the story, but Admiral Green Bull, according to Don Flamingo, is a raging monster like Fujitora. And Fujitora is a monster. Like, this dude has some massive power. Green Bull is of the same tier as Fujitora at the very least. And Green Bull's history, of course, who's to say? But what if this dude is old school, and let's say he was a former big name pirate, like a former big name general somewhere. But then on top of that, he does fit the enemy bill, because the Marines are clearly an enemy of the Straw Hat Pirates. However, I think there's a far more likely candidate when it comes to this lurking legend. Given the context of what's going to be going down in the very near future in One Piece, i.e. Wano Kuni, that it is Kaido who's like their main target when it comes to Luffy and Law and maybe even Kid and Hawkins and Appu and those guys. There is one person that comes to mind who I can't say from a power standpoint is of the same tier, but this person I don't doubt would fit the role of a lurking legend, and that person is the Shogun of Wano Kuni. I think what Eiichiro Oda is talking about, the person he's talking about, I think is the Shogun of Wano Kuni. You see, from the standpoint of lurking, meaning like hidden, Wano Kuni is already isolated. They're already cut off from the rest of the world, which is the primary reason why you have Kinemon and Momonosuke and company. They have their own revolutionary forces within Wano Kuni, like not like the global rev, but their own rebellious forces to try and bring down the, I guess, shogunate of Wano Kuni, the current shogunate of Wano Kuni. And within the context of the story, it only makes sense that a massive battle is going to take place, or massive war even, is going to take place in Wano Kuni when Luffy company get there and all the preparations are made and then the assault begins. Because again, Oda states that what is coming is going to make Marineford War look cute. If it was someone like Green Bull, how could Green Bull be one of the cornerstones in making this battle or this war that makes Marineford War look cute? Even if he had 2 Buster Calls, it's not going to be enough to make Marineford War look cute. I like the idea of Kong, but unless you brought in all the Marines and company, and like they fought against, let's say, the Straw Hat Grand Fleet or something, which again, I think is iffy, so I'm gonna say no to that. But why would Oda even go out of his way to do something like that when he's already set up this massive confrontation with the Shogun and with Kaido on Wano Kuni? Oda, I think, is very clearly making it out to be where Wano Kuni is going to surpass the Marineford War when it comes to the events, when it comes to the feats, when it comes to the impact on the world, and that kind of stuff. Now, the biggest thing here for the people of Wano Kuni would be their borders to be open. But for the impact of the world, and this is where I kind of get like, ooh, that would mean the defeat of Yonko Kaido. Because Marineford War, you have the defeat of Whitebeard. Now, that does not sit well with me at all, because I don't see Luffy being able to beat Kaido at all. You had 4 Supernova when Kaido fell in. You had Hawkins, you had Appu, you had Killer, and you had Kid. And they were shaking in their boots. You throw in Luffy and Law, you throw in Capone, you throw in Uroz, throw in Julie Bonnie, I don't care. You can throw them all in, I don't care. Kaido's still coasting. He's still coasting. Maybe I am reading too much into it, because from the standpoint of surpassing the Marineford War, the world impact was huge. But if it's just Wano Kuni by itself, would a country's borders being open alone after the Shogun is defeated, would that really be enough to make an arc that would surpass Marineford War and make it cute? I don't know. So on one hand, I'm excited, but on the other hand, I'm worried, because I don't want Yonko Kaido to be taken out during Wano Kuni. I think Kaido deserves at least a defeat on his own home island, his favorite island, at the very, very least. And not until Luffy himself can actually compete with Kaido in single combat. Not until then should Kaido be bested, in all honesty. Unless Law does this whole thing of killing himself and using the powers of the Oppubu no Mi to kind of take away the immortality of Kaido, and then after that they can kind of kill Kaido. Yeah, who knows? But the person I think Oda's talking about, I think, is, in all honesty, the Shogun of Wano Kuni. I think this guy is a legend. Having ties to Whitebeard, I think it's obvious. I think it's very obvious. Because Ace and Orange Jr. are there, and they're making straw hats and whatnot, do not be surprised if the Shogun of Wano Kuni himself has ties to the person that made the straw hats, or that taught Ace to make the Straw Hats, or he's the one that taught Ace to make the Straw Hats. Maybe he was actually a solid dude back then, but over the course of time, he became twisted and warped and whatnot. So when it comes to ties to Whitebeard, the Shogun of Wano Kuni has that too. Ace was there at Wano Kuni. That's where he learned to make the Straw Hats. Yes, 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 yes. Mark my words here and now. The person that Eiichiro Oda is talking about, this lurking legend, this hidden legend that we don't know about. I don't think it's Kaido that we already seen, and he's already been hyped like massively. I don't think, unfortunately, it's Kong. That'll be so cool though. I don't think it's Green Bull or Shiki for that matter. I think it's the Shogun of Wano Kuni. And that being said, guys and gals, that is the big news, and that is my thoughts on who this lurking legend is, and the reason why it makes so much sense, because you already have this massive confrontation set up between the Shogun and Kaido side of things, and Luffy and Law and Kids and Kinemon side of things. You have these two sides already being set up. Now let them clash, and Oda's trying to make it big, real big. Yes. So that being said, guys and gals, I am done. Be sure to rate the video. It is not that hard to do, especially when I know that you all have a device called Shu. Of course, there are shirts available in the description box down below on both Redbubble and Teespring. You use Shu to click, rate the video, to click, subscribe, to click on that bell to join the squad, and of course, comment in the comment section down below. Peace, and have a nice goddamn day. Oda, he could be just trolling, honestly. He really could be trolling. But he has the hype juices flowing for 2018. He does. And it's really hard to deny that. I'll see you guys and gals later.